2 decades ago, an unthinkable crime changed David's life forever and made national news. It's a story many remember and a story many wished just wasn't true.
6-year-old David Rothenberg was burned and almost killed in this Buena Park motel room. He remains a patient at the UC Irvine Medical Center with third-degree burns over 90% of his body. His father, Charles, is charged with attempted murder and arson. His mother, Marie Rothenberg, flew out from New York immediately after the fire and has remained here. Since David has regained consciousness, he has begun to wonder what happened to him and how it happened.
David had asked me what kind of accident he was in this week, and I had mentioned to him that he was in a very, very bad fire. And he asked me how the fire started, and I told him I didn't know. It could have been electrical, I wasn't sure, so then he asked me to ask his daddy, because his daddy was with him. And he was concerned that, he asked me if there were any other babies hurt, and I said no, that he was the only little boy hurt.
For the first 2 years of my life, my father was in prison for forging checks. During that time, my mother divorced him. When he got out of prison, the custody battle ensued. At a certain point, my father decided that if he wasn't going to have me, nobody would. My father poured kerosene all over me. I know that he gave me a sleeping pill, that's all I remember, and then lit a match and went across the street and called the police. It was like having 1,000,000 9-inch nails just put into every area of your body. I had burns over 90% of my body. I had, I think, a 20% chance of living past 48 hours, but I overcame those odds, and as the days went by, those odds went higher and higher. I said to myself, I'm going to live, I'm going to live, I'm going to live. He wanted to take me away from my mother, but I'm strong. I don't go down for nobody. They had to put skin grafts over pretty much every area of my body, but I'm glad that I'm alive, I'm glad that I didn't miss living, and that is wonderful enough for me. I'm an artist. I work on art at the Eden Arts Gallery and Studio at the Arts Factory. I want to bring people my experiences, my loves, my fears, my emotions.
The strength of Dave is in the spark that he has. He paints out his emotions into his paintings, and it has a lot of layers, it has a lot of depth, it has a lot of personality of himself.
He's a phenomenal human being, and I feel very honored to know him.
You can't be but absolutely inspired by his courage and the optimism that he has.
My obstacles, my experiences, my life, I want to showcase it to the world, and that's what I'm doing through my art.
You know, this is such an inspirational story, and we're very blessed. David joins us today, and he insists he's not a victim, he's a survivor. David, please come join us.
Amazing.
Looking good.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
I was gonna say, I'm hanging out here with 2 GQ studs.
Look at this.
Pleasure.
Look at this.
Pleasure.
Color coordinated, too.
You know, and first things first, David, you go by Dave?
Yes, that's my legal name.
And you changed your name after this all happened. Why?
About 2 years ago, I changed it legally to Dave to liberate myself from my father and to establish myself as an artist. It was kind of like an artistic decision to do that.
And a lot of people will look at someone who's been burned and they think, okay, you know, physically, okay, I'm not seeing skin like I normally would on someone, but what a lot of people don't realize is what a toll it takes physically and the amount of pain. I wanted to talk with you briefly because one of the reasons we were excited to have you on the show is you're finally at a point in your life where pain no longer dictates it.
Almost. Currently, I'm undergoing a treatment called calamari, which is it's a machine that they attach and it has electrodes on it. What it does is it scatters the messages to the brain to shut off the pain centers in the brain in those areas. And it's absolutely amazing. It's changed my life for the better.
And it's helped control the pain. I wanted to bring in really quickly in this discussion on the phone Dr. Ward Wagner, one of Dave's pain management specialists. And Dave just described how his treatment has been helping him. Is this something that you're using more commonly in some of your chronic pain patients?
You know, we use this quite often.
for many different types of pain conditions. The conditions that respond the best are conditions that are what we call neurogenic or neuropathic. In other words, if there's current tissue damage happening, it's not going to be much help. But your neuropathy patients, your post-chemo, post-shingles, and now, of course, we've learned burn survivors, these kinds of people, this is tremendous for.
And this also, you can harken back to this. I think what's great about new treatment modalities is being able to pull back on use of sedatives and narcotics and other standard pain management treatments.
You're absolutely right. The people that I meet on a day-to-day basis are on so many narcotic pain meds, they're in danger for their lives. Their brains are like soup. They can't think straight anymore with short-term memory loss. So yes, my goal is to help get people off of all those adverse side effects.
Well, Dr. Ward, thank you for highlighting some of these new treatments. We really appreciate it.
You're such a role model, Dave. Talk a little bit, Dave, about the role of art as a therapy, especially for people who have been burned.
I think art is an expression that we all have. And whether or not I think we're all human beings and we all have different emotions and different feelings. However, we all have different challenges and different things to deal with. Currently, I'm showing at Joseph Watson Gallery and the Eden Fine Art Gallery in Las Vegas. And I'm just living the life of an artist and building a brand.
And is there anything before we go, Dave, that you want to leave people with?
I think my brand, it's lifted, and I created it to inspire others to live their life at an elevated level. And I believe that through doing that, we become healthier people and better individuals.
Wow. A true testament to living life in that fashion. Dave, keep doing what you're doing. Thank you so much for joining us today.